In part 1, we talked about weird human-animal hybrids that actually exist. Today, we'll talk about that again and more. From a rabbit man to mice with human brains. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Top 10 Dark Crossbreeding Experiments, Part 2. But before I dive into the video, I just want to say that my very own reaction channel, Peach, is officially launching on May 31st. Make sure you guys all subscribe so you don't miss out on the first video. It's gonna be incredible. Check the link in the description to subscribe to Peach. Now, let's get on with the video. Starting off this countdown, we have the rabbit man. Yes, I'm talking about a human-animal hybrid between a human and a rabbit. So basically, the first successful experiment was done in 2003 in Shanghai. A team of scientists managed to fuse human cells with rabbit eggs. In the United States, scientists have been trying to do the same thing, but their attempts were always unsuccessful. But in Shanghai, they managed to pull it off. This experiment was done to see if rabbits could be used to grow cells or tissues for transplant patients. But in the end, they only allowed the human rabbit to develop for a couple of days before they had to destroy it and then harvest it for stem cells. Moving on at number 9, we have the goat-human milk mix. Let me just start by saying this experiment is quite interesting, to say the least. But basically, scientists have figured a way for goats to produce human breast milk. So basically, scientists transferred human genes for breast milk enzymes and proteins into goat embryos. In the end, they found that the milk the goats were producing was not 100% human, but it contained 60% of the lysosome and lactoferrin found in human milk. Maybe this weird goat human milk is gonna change the future. It could feed and save babies in need. It also means a longer shelf life for this milk. Would you guys ever try this milk? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on at number 8, we have the pigs with human blood. In my last video, I talked about how pigs were used to help create human organs. Well, that's not all. Researchers at Mayo Clinic in Minnesota have managed to create pigs with human blood. Yeah, they have human blood pumping through their veins. Not only that, but some of their cells in the blood merge to create pig-human cell hybrids. Kind of weird, not gonna lie. Hit that thumbs up button if you agree. But scientists are using this to study how viral infections can transfer from animals to humans. In our 7th spot, we have the glow-in-the-dark cats. Scientists have been conducting experiments on cats to study molecules that could stop HIV/AIDS. So the virus responsible for HIV in humans is similar to feline immunodeficiency virus, FIV, in cats. So what they did was insert a gene that produces a fluorescent protein called GFP. This is produced naturally in jellyfish, believe it or not. But it's what gives these kitties a green glow. Then they also inserted a gene that blocks the FIV virus into unfertilized eggs of the cat. When the cat gave birth to the kitties, if they glowed green, that meant they also have the anti-FIV gene. They hope that these experiments will one day lead to them finding a way to make humans resistant to HIV. In our 6th spot, we have the human sheep livers. In 2007, scientists at the University of Nevada, Reno claims they managed to grow human livers inside of sheep. So they did this by injecting human stem cells from bone marrow into growing sheep fetuses. Sheep is apparently good for this because their circulatory system is similar to ours. In the end, they said the livers will be made with 20% human cells. They are hopeful that one day this can be used to help grow human organs for those in need of transplant. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the mice with a human brain. In 2005, Irving Westman, a professor at Stanford University and co-founder of the company Stem Cells Inc., was given permission to create a mouse-human hybrid. So what they did was transplant human brain stem cells into the brains of mice. They did this in hopes to study neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. In the first round of tests, they found that the mouse brain consisted of less than 1% of human cells. But in 2010, they were much more successful. That's when they managed to, and I quote, use mouse stem cells to develop sensory hair cells, which could combat human hearing loss. They also managed to make the mice more human, in the sense that the mice with the human brain cells were more intelligent than other regular mice. Isn't that crazy? Like, their brains were containing certain human cells. Science is crazy. Hit that thumbs up button if you agree. Coming in at number 4, we have Oliver the chimpanzee. Now, this next story was quite controversial for a number of reasons. But basically, there was a chimpanzee named Oliver that wasn't like other chimps. No, he had a lot of human characteristics that made people think that he was indeed a human-chimpanzee hybrid. For example, he had more human-like traits. He had a flatter face than other chimpanzees, and he walked on 2 feet instead of all 4s. He also preferred human females over female chimpanzees. In fact, a lot of doctors and scientists at the time were convinced he was a humanzee, a human and a chimpanzee. Furthermore, renowned Dr. Gordon Gallup from the University of New York said there was reason to suspect that Oliver was a human-chimpanzee hybrid. Now, they ended up finding out that his chromosomes matched that of a chimpanzee, not a human. But they never did a full DNA test. So many people think that Oliver was some messed up experiment. In our third spot, we have cow eggs with human cells. In 2008, British researchers were given the okay to conduct some human-animal experiments. So they decided to manipulate cow eggs. They took the nucleus of the cow egg, which is the source of the most DNA, and replaced it with the nucleus of a human cell. They then watched the egg develop and multiply. Scientists could then extract the stem cells from this and use it for disease treatments. These experiments were conducted with the hopes to one day find a cure for Parkinson's disease. Moving on to number 2, we have the human sheep. Okay, this one has to be the weirdest one on this list. I feel like I said that before already, but just wait and you be the judge. So in 2017, villagers in South Africa were horrified when a sheep gave birth to something that they thought was brought into this world by the devil. The sheep did not look like a sheep or lamb or whatever. Instead, it looked like a half-human with hooves. Many people in the village were convinced that bestiality and witchcraft were behind this creature, whereas others believed that it was sent by the devil. Apparently, it was just a stillborn lamb, but still, there's a lot of rumors of someone injecting the sheep with male sperm. And in our number 1 spot, we have the mouse with the human ear. In the late 90s, 3 doctors started doing experiments on creating human body parts in a lab. One of the things they managed to do was grow a human ear on the back of a mouse. So they did this by creating an ear-shaped scaffolding and putting cells of cartilage from a cow on it. They then put the mouse under anesthetic and placed this ear thing under the skin. Crazily enough, the mouse's body fed the cow cartilage cells. The scaffolding dissolved, and the mouse was growing this artificial shape of a human ear. But it was only the outside of an ear. There was no eardrum. But they did this in order to help plastic surgeons that have a hard time reconstructing human ears for their patients. So they would create this ear on the mouse and then graft it onto a person. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. It was a pretty crazy list, so let me know what you think in the comments below. And now, speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, Top 10 Dark Crossbreeding Experiments. It was the first part, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Lone Wolf commented, I can't be the only one here who's patiently waiting for Lindsay to make her first video on her own channel. Well, guess what, guys? It's coming May 31st. Woo woo! Get excited. Subscribe to Peach. Pikachu Overlord commented, would an animal with lion, tiger, and bear DNA be called an oh my? I love that. Lions and tigers and bear. Oh my! 10 out of 10. That comment made my day. It made me smile. Patriot commented, did you see the orb that went by you as you were talking about the lions? Who's the ghost in your place? Thankfully, you're referring to Olivia, who did the part about the lions, because I got freaked out for a second thinking that there was orbs flying across and that my place was haunted. No, so her place is haunted, so, I mean, that's on her. Maybe we'll go ghost hunting in her apartment. Who knows? All right, guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you.